Welcome to the Fallen All-Star podcast for Greenhouse Season 5, the All-Star season. I'm here, Bryce Franklin, with Gavin, the first out of the Greenhouse All-Stars. Gavin,
Yeah.
you go from being on top of your season, coming out with a nearly unanimous win, and then going out with a split vote, so there was some fight there.
That's true. It wasn't unanimous. I expected to be on the block. I'd been preparing that the last few months, expecting myself to be on the block the first round. Because I won the game, and because I think I might be the best winner that we've had. At least that's on this season. And so, making myself feel a little better about it, but it does feel good that it wasn't a unanimous vote, and also there were multiple routes I could have taken, I think, where I could have kept myself in the game. I could have bought the uproot against Christian, but I felt too bad. Christian was he was pleading for me to stay in the game before he knew we were on the block together, and I didn't want to go back on that because I'd already won the game and he had it. And that would feel cheap getting him out before me. The same with Ross and Dylan. Brody promised me that I would be safe from the flat trap. He would get one of those two out, and I could have guaranteed stay in the game, but then they would have been gone, and that would have felt cheap because I won the game and they had it. So I hate to diminish me getting voted out by saying, "Oh, I did it on purpose," because I did, and I really wanted to stay in. But I could have tried harder to be more ruthless and stayed in. But I was ruthless last time, and I didn't like it.
So what do you think got you to this spot? Do you think it was not fighting as much as you maybe did in your original season?
Yeah, I could have been more bloodthirsty. Also, another thing I could have done, Maddie asked me if I wanted to be on the block. And Taylor was like, "We gotta go." She was like, "Gavin, please be on the block." She said you could say no, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to be a target anyway for the fly trap, might as well put me on, and I'll get a seed, and she gave me another seed from it. But I did many things wrong.
What do you think put that target on the Season 4 crew, the Season 4 girlies, as everybody in the season's calling it?
I don't know who did it, I don't know what did it. I think it's because all the other seasons sort of didn't stay, close friends afterward. Especially Season 3, they all were fighting with each other. And then me, Ross, and Dylan, for my season, we're all in a Final 5 alliance together. So they know we've worked together and it's worked. And they also, if they follow Dylan on Instagram, he posted a picture of me, Ross, Dylan, and Ava hanging out outside. So they know we're friends outside of the game as well. So
that's fair.
I mean, it's fair. If I wasn't one of us four, I would be gunning first as well. So I'm sad that I'm gone, but I think that allows for everybody else from my season to have a better game than attached to the Greenhouse 4 anymore. And I don't want a winner to win. I want someone who didn't win. So I'm okay with going for the betterment of them.
He's humble too. All right, Gavin. So if you couldn't win this season of the Greenhouse, who would you want to be the winner and sit in those chairs and claim the crown of a Greenhouse All-Stars winner?
If I could pick any of those people in that room to win, I would love to say Ross or Ava or Dylan, my people from my season, but I don't know what happened. I clicked with Meredith super fast, and I told her, "Hey, my strategy is I'm just going to pick one person and give you my all. That's going to be you." She was like, "Okay." I don't know if she agreed with it or not, but I think Meredith deserves it. I don't know, she's very nice, and a lot of those people are scary.
That's fair. It's a tough competition, and it's a very, very good cast for this season of All-Stars. Real quick, I know we mentioned it earlier, but who are you leaving your seats to for the next round?
Shit. I had a whole plan of who I was leaving my seats to. I had 4 seats. One Maddie gave to me, one Dylan gave to me. I was going to give those 2 back to them and give the other 2 to Meredith. But I gave 3 seats to Ross to bid on Fly Trap. And he has those seats. So Ross is rich now.
There you go.
And I gave my last one to Meredith.
Okay. So no remaining seats.
No.
All right. Well, there you have it. Gavin, the first out from Greenhouse 5.
It's an honor.
It's an honor to have you play, man. Thanks for being here, and let's see who's out next. Welcome back to the Greenhouse 5 Eliminated Player Podcast. My name is Bryce Franklin. I'm here with Maddie Miller. Maddie, you were the second out, technically,
Yes.
in this, the first season, or the first episode. What happened?
To be honest, I don't know exactly what tipped Brody over the edge for him to think that I was going to be coming after him. There was a large group of people in the upstairs room before the vote trying to figure out, okay, what's actually happening? What are people's game plans and like what are they trying to accomplish here? And just trying to get like more of a lay of the landscape of like who is targeting for, because that's what everyone kept hearing was we need to break up season 4, we need to break up season 4. And it came from what most people are saying is either Thomas or Brody, and they both deny that fact. However, Thomas told me like straight blank, he told me to my face he would like to see 4 be broken up. So I realized it was a large group of people and he was probably just trying to save face. But anyway. And so neither of them wanted to take that responsibility. And so we just having a conversation and I was like, look, Brody, you're saying that you don't want that to happen. Like you don't want to target 4, but they are working together out of this. I don't know. It was just this conversation like, okay, you think they're close, but they have to be because y'all backed them into a corner. Also, you don't want to play by let's target seasons as a whole, but you are the one that's actively saying, hey, I'm going to get someone from 4 out. Either it's in the vote or it's in the fly trap. That's what's happening. And so I said that. I'm like, look, that is what you're doing. I just want, let's have a conversation. If you don't want that to happen, you're the one that's in power. That doesn't have to happen here. And we tried to like figure out, what does different scenarios look like, and I just don't think he was super receptive to. He said, I've already told people that someone from 4 is going, if it's from my fly trap or not. And I was like, okay, great, whatever. He left and we were talking like, do we have seeds to outbid him? Probably not. No one wants to like take that hit because then we start from square one and I don't know. So when Gavin was eliminated, which we tried to get enough people to say, hey, if you keep him in, we know someone from 4 is getting hit. That is the best chance. That is the best predictable thing that could happen. Why don't we just get Brady out there, and that way we know it's someone from 4 and it's not anybody else. Everyone else is pretty much insulated. I don't think we got enough people that were willing to, I guess, lose Brady as an ally, which, I mean, I guess he was much more insulated than most of us recognize. So I feel like that should be something that people see, that, hey, people went with an unpredictable outcome to save him. That automatically tells me he's got a lot of people that no one's gonna automatically say you're not seeing as working with them.
Right.
So Gavin's out. He's like, okay, so I'm not getting someone else from 4 now because that's not what I want to do. And I'm like, okay, great. You didn't have to do that from the jump, but whatever. And he says, I'm going to get someone out who I think is targeting me, and that's just, what it is. And he says he's getting that I'm the one that he's fly trapping. And I'm like, but I'm not coming after you.
So did he give you any kind of a forewarning that he was
No.
coming after you? It was just an in-the-moment thing?
In-the-moment thing. I don't think anybody knew.
It had the camera crew, it had the entire cast, jaws on the floor, Maddie. It was insane.
I mean, I kind of, in the moment, when he looked at me and he said, I'm sorry, Maddie, I kind of had a blackout moment, but I could hear the gasp. And I'm like, oh, no one knew this was happening.
Nobody.
No one knew that was happening. And I was like, that makes me feel just a slight better that I wasn't plotted against by a group of people, but also it's this really sucks because, one, I'm just trying to give all aspects of a game and of that perspective and trying to show him that, look, you're saying this, but it's almost hypocritical because you're not doing what you're saying.
Right.
And I want you to recognize that, and that's just us having an open dialogue. I'm not here to target you. But that didn't come across to him as that. He felt like I was openly arguing with him and would be against him, which isn't the case, but it's too little too late at that point.
So do you think, if you could go back in time, would you change your nomination of Gavin? And
I
put
might.
someone who was not from
I might, because that would then guarantee that, well, Brody can do whatever Brody wants, and he's shown that he'll turn on a dime. He
Right.
told us when we were in the greenhouse, he said, look, I want the 2 seats because I would like to do fly trap. Unless y'all don't feel comfortable, I will nominate if someone else wants to fly trap. He said, those are my 2 options here, that's what I want. And we said, look, we'll let you take that heat, because none of us want to do it. And he said, that is also under, like, the stipulation here that no one in this room is getting fly trapped.
Right.
So I was like, okay. So now that we had that understanding, I felt more comfortable to be like, look, I want to give you perspective.
Right.
And that just wasn't, there was a miscommunication, a disconnect in, I guess, thought processes there, and he felt threatened, ultimately, because if he didn't, he wouldn't have picked me if he didn't feel threatened.
So going into that first night,
Mm-hmm.
after you kind of won power and conversations were starting to happen,
Yeah.
Did you feel any kind of connection with the other people from your original season 1, or was there that kind of mindset that I need to branch out and work, like leave my old season behind me and kind of move forward with a new slate?
Right. I didn't have any, like, ill will towards one. Like, great, if something happens, it happens, but I wanted it to be open, and I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into, like, I'm playing with my season, or I'm definitely not playing with my season.
Because we see how that turns out.
Absolutely. And honestly, I hadn't talked with much of the season 1 folks, like, very just in passing, but I felt good enough with all of them that I didn't feel like I needed to put any of them up. I felt in the moment I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I didn't have targets, and I kind of was forced into having to nominate 2 people. I said I wanted to be in the greenhouse, which is true, but I was hoping I would have had more agency and not having a nominating power from the greenhouse. But 5th place, you don't have any agency with that, so you kind of get stuck with what you get stuck with. So at that point, I'm like, okay, what can I do? I have to play on the fact that you get a seed. So I went to talk to Gavin. I'm like, look, I was on the fence on if I wanted to put someone from 4 up or not, because I felt that they're already backed into a corner and now they're forced to work with each other. I don't want to, like, put that pressure more, but also if no one from 4 gets nominated, what does that look like for me and Shane?
Right.
People, that's going to throw up a flag like, okay, why not? Why didn't you put anybody up?
Right.
So I went to talk to Gavin, and I'm like, I think we could have numbers to, like, save you. You have the 1 seed from, he had 1 seed. I don't know how he had 1 seed. Was it maybe from the seed hunt? I don't know if he won his seed hunt.
He did win the seed hunt.
Okay, so he had 1. I'm like, Sunflower, you'll get a 2nd one. And I will give you my 1 that I just earned from the rankings to give you 3 to help you uproot. Or if you feel comfortable enough, we give them to someone to try to outbid Brody for the fly trap.
Right.
Because everyone is like, well, if I help Brody, he's not going to get me. That is not how you should handle Brody Schneider.
Well, and we saw how that kind of mentality happened. I think it was, season 3? I think that, I think it was with Brady, actually.
It was, yeah.
He got fly trapped on, with seeds that he gave up.
Absolutely. So I was like, and I think Brandon even said it, when we were up in the room, we had the nominees leave, and Brody also left, and it was just voters plus me and Shane. And Claire was there, she was going to get blocked, but it was a good bit of the cast. Like, probably about 80-85% of us were in this room. And Brandon was like, why are we letting Brody have this power? I'm like, we have the power right here to pull seeds and outbid him. Like, I don't know why we're just laying down to let him have it. Like, if none of us want that, we here can have the power to do something with it. And they were like, oh no, it's too late. Like, I don't think we have time to switch it up. I'm like, time is not the issue when you have more than half the cast in a room.
Right.
That's not the issue here. We can do whatever we want in this moment. And they just weren't receptive to it. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. Whatever happens, happens. So we were trying to figure out, Brody said, if Gavin went, he had 2 options he was contemplating. That's what he told us in the room, and he said he wasn't going to tell us because obviously they were probably in the room. So I forgot, I think it was Dylan that was like, look, he said 2 options. If Gavin goes, that's 1 winner. What if he's targeting the other 2 winners?
Mm-hmm.
And so we were trying to harp on that. Me and Shane, we work together. And we are like, he's my work bestie, love him to death. And so we came in just naturally close. And so we knew, like, round 1, we're like, we're good, we're working together. Like, it didn't have to be a conversation. We just kind of, like, saw each other and we're like, yeah.
That natural connection.
Absolutely. And so, talking with him, I'm like, Shakira wants to work with us, and we need to, like, convince her at this point, you cut Brady for the sake of self-preservation.
Right.
Yeah, he's a number for you, but at this moment, I think we still have decent numbers, and if he's not out here, it could be you.
Right.
So it's like, if you want to take that gamble, that is your game, but we just tried, her and Abrielle were not receptive to flipping. They were like, we're voting Gavin. And I'm like, we just needed 1 more person. We needed to have it tied because Shane would have full-heartedly sent Brady out.
Right.
He would have been like, see ya, buddy, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen. Gavin goes, and I immediately look at Shane, and I'm like, basically, we're fucked. I'm like, we don't have any, like, we do not have the power that we think we would have with an alliance that we're starting. We needed season 4. We're like, look, if me and Shane work with season 4, bro, that's what I would like to see. With, like, grab a few people here and there, you know, to make it happen. But
kind of insulate yourself with the rest of the cast.
We wanted to try to protect 4, and I knew that the best chance to possibly protect them was having to put at least 1 of them up. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's either they get gunned for even harder like today, or, you know, versus if Gavin's on the block and he stays, I don't think Brody gets him. He'll get either Dylan or Ross. I'm like, look, I feel like we have to kind of pick and choose our battles, and at this point, this might be the best way forward. And I had that conversation with Gavin, and he was really receptive to it. He's like, look, I trust you. I do want to work with you. He said, I understand the position you're in. And I'm like, it sucks. So he was not upset with me. Meanwhile, I did not get to have a conversation like that with Brady before it happened.
Right.
But everybody was saying that I was putting up Lily and Brady anyway. And I was like, that was never something I actually said that I was planning on doing. I truly think it kind of spun out from people were asking, like, who I felt least connected to in that moment. Like, I hadn't had the conversations with, and I'm like, I mean, these people, but that's not saying that I'm putting them up. That's just answering your one question.
Right.
And I think, so Lily came and talked to me after that, and I told her that, I'm like, I don't have plans to put you up. Like, that's not what, I said I don't have plans at all at the moment, but that was just me answering a single question, not me saying I'm coming for you. She was like, okay, well, that's really reassuring. Brady did not come in to have that other conversation with me after that. We had a very early on conversation, and I felt that he would be insulated enough that he could make it, because I knew Shane was probably doing Christian. And I was like, between Christian and Gavin, I think Brady is insulated enough that I can convince him that you're fine.
Right.
But then I started talking to people, and I'm like, look, getting Brady out is great for a lot of people's games, and I'm totally good with that. I'm telling him that he's insulated and he's fine, but whatever. But he really was insulated, so it kind of like...
It was a close vote.
It was a close vote.
I think there was a 2-vote difference.
Yes.
So, I mean, it was just that one thing that set up the chain reaction that has you sitting here with me today.
Yeah.
My last question for you, who do you think is going to make it to the end?
So, by seeing that the resistance of Shakira and Abrielle not voting Brady out, vehemently not flipping, I think that is Thomas's will. Thomas is like, he wants to keep Brady in, and he thinks he objectively was one of the people that started the 4 thing.
Right.
He can say that he didn't. He literally is the one that told me that. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So I think he was very much gunning for that to happen.
Mhm.
He might not openly do it, but like he planted those seeds and was pushing it. And they are listening to what he has to say, which is exactly what he did in season 3.
Mhm.
Shane does not want that to happen. He's like, everyone is just laying down and like letting Thomas dictate their game right now. Again. He's like, how can we fix that? I'm like, I don't know.
Mhm.
The way to fix it is you have to get them out.
Mhm.
I don't know if though people are going to do that.
Right.
Because I think they have something that's some kind of group there. So I think Thomas can make it far if everyone kind of does the same thing that they did in season 3 and just lets him run. He's going towards the end. I would really love to see Shane at the end. I don't know if he can, just by he lost me and Gavin in one night and we were all like trying to form something. He's losing allies and I don't know what he's gonna have now. You know? Like I feel like he used like me as kind of like a sounding board and I did the same with him. Like this, let's talk about this because I knew I could trust him and I could tell him anything and he wasn't gonna take anything and be like, oh, I should get Maddie out because she's either playing too hard or she's this, that, or the other. I knew that I could be completely open.
Yeah.
And it was gonna work. Now that, and I feel like he felt the same way for me, but now that that's broken up, I'm not sure how he's going to do that, like sound off ideas with people who he's going to try to gravitate towards. All I know is I did, like when I was leaving, like Shane was pissed. So I hope that he does some shady shit and he gets Brody out, and I'm like, serves you right, but I don't know. I don't know how. I don't see his path yet.
Right. Okay.
It is still very early.
I mean, and as we've seen this game, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So, Maddie, thank you so much. Here we have Maddie Miller, the jaw-dropping, game-changing second out from the Night 1 Venus flytrap. Thank you so much for playing, Maddie. You are an all-star, and you deserve to be here.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you play again.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Perfect.
All right, Maddie, any last words?
Brody can disrespectfully fuck off.
So Brody, we would like you to place your vote, and can you please explain why you have chosen the person you have chosen?
I really hope this person goes home. I know it's not going to be this person. A lot of people pissed me off just now for saying stupid things that had no logic behind them and choosing a side with no reason to do it and with no logic behind their votes and reasoning, and they argued with me nonstop upstairs. They better hope that Brady goes home, because they will be going home and they were never on my radar. And it is not this person's fault. Well, no, it is this person's fault actually, because they could have kept their mouth shut and they'd be safe. And now they're going to go home because of it, because I know Brady's not going to go home. And they could have just said, let's go with the season 4, let him go. And instead, we're going to fight this thing tooth and nail. I will be voting for Brady so I can get out a season 4 person, like I said from the start. It's not going to happen. Hope this person thinks they made the right decision, because it might come back to bite them.
Hi, Dylan.
Hey.
Can you please cast your vote and also give us the reasoning behind your vote?
Yeah, I wish this was a harder decision. Back against the wall. I'm going to put it in for Brady, simply for the reason I can't vote Gavin out at this point. And I'm going to take that gamble with Brody fly-trapping either Ross or Gavin before me. Maybe a game-ending move, but I think he might fly-trap Ross because of the recent bid, and I would prefer to go further with Gavin just because he is a big shield at this point.
Miss Lily.
Hello.
Please have a seat. Give us the tea. Tell us who you're voting for and what your plans are.
Well, so between these two, I'm gonna vote for Gavin to leave because I truly feel like Brady has been, I mean, they've both been very friendly. I really don't dislike either of these people or really anyone yet. But yet. But I don't know, I really just, Gavin, I mean, as we pointed out, has won before and is like such a like proven strong player and is such a nice guy that I definitely feel like if you took him to the end, like he's so lovable that it would be really hard to win against him if you made it to the end. I don't know, I feel like Gavin just comes out as a bigger threat. Brady, I feel like, has been very, like, what is that word? Innocuous? Is that the right word? You know what I mean? Like, he's just, like, hasn't, I don't even understand why he's, like, up on the block. So it just doesn't feel correct at all. I don't even think he should be up. So I feel like by default, I kind of have to go with Gavin. So.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Hey
And the
girls.
set.
It is a set.
We would like to know what you and the set are voting and why. What are your plans?
I think I don't want Brady to go home because he is my alliance member. Gavin benefits me more to go home. I wish it was not Gavin. I wish it was, I keep forgetting his name, Dylan. And I heard Ross wants to come after me, so... but yeah, I'm too tired to have a cohesive thought.
Ross.
Hello.
Please join us on the hot seat. Just kidding, you're voting. Tell us who you're voting for, why, what are your plans?
So the whole situation here is we had the season 4 fiasco thrust upon us. We didn't ask for it, but it was a situation, and I thought that we could either take it lying down or we could fight back. So we tried to fight back. We ended up not getting it. We didn't get the Venus flytrap. That's okay. Brody says that if Gavin goes, Dylan and I are safe. I don't trust Brody, and I think that I'd rather go out being loyal because I don't trust Brody to stick to his word because it's Brody. So I will be voting Brady out. Cut. I have 4 seeds. I'm giving 2 of them to Brandon and 1 each to Dylan and Gavin.
Okay.
Got it.
Brandon, please join us.
Hello.
Have a seat, get comfy.
I'm a C.
Who lose your vote? Sorry.
Alright.
Please let us know who you're voting for and why.
I'm voting for Gavin. Fuck it. I don't care. If it's Gavin and Brody snaps me, then you know what? I'll go home. But I don't think he's gonna. He told me he wouldn't. I can't believe I'm trusting Brody. I also can't fucking believe we let Brody get 7 motherfucking seeds on night 1, round 1. Dumb mistake to the house. Brody should be gone. But Gavin, nice knowing you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This
is
a Kiki trash.
Get comfy. How are you? Can you let us know, first of all, you're not going home?
Holy moly. Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, ooh. That's so true.
Yeah. It's still the first round, girl. I'm holding my breath. I will.
Well, please, tell us who you're voting for and why.
Oh, man. So, I am going to vote for Gavin. And it's because Brady, like you said, was in there for, like, not a guess, but it was almost like I just don't know him. But Brady is a really, like, strong player. I mean, I feel like he would be good to play with. And the other player said something good too, which was if I had to stand up next to Gavin in, like, ideal world top 3, Gavin is a very personal person, and we saw what he did in season 4. So that's why I'm voting for Gavin, is because if you give him the time, he will make the connections. As in, like, if I was in top 3 and I wanted to be standing next to Gavin or Brady, I probably want to be standing next to Brady, you know, because it's okay, sis, but you can sit. So I'll put mine for Gavin.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you. Wish me luck.
Have a good sleep. Oh, and famously used the uproot to save himself.
I did.
Now let us know. Who are you going to vote for and why?
I am the only one that none of the other voters talked to about this vote. I walked in the room and they said, okay, here's the deal. We're going to do him or him, and if you want him, you do this, 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 and this, and if you want him, you want Brody to do this, 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 and this, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I was just on the block. And guess what? I'm going to say this. I was fucking fierce on that block. I was going to sit on that block and just have no one spin seeds. We spent 4 hours to decide between these two. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why is my name coming up? Because guess what? I was good with everyone. The minute you throw my name up, I'm going to fucking ramrod you. I swear to God, I'm so fucking pissed that I had to go for uproot. But guess what? I have all of the seeds I need in my fucking allies' pockets. And I'll do it again. Fuck you, Shakira, Thomas. Also, Shane. Go fuck yourself. Maddie, you can go too.
Please have a seat on our comfy couch.
I want 10,000 seasons.
It's so cold on your legs. Okay, so can you tell us who you're going to vote for and why?
Sure. I am unfortunately going to vote for Brady. The reasoning is because Gavin has made a lot of promises to me. He's basically said I am his #1 ally in this and that he's all in on that alliance with me. And I would be ridiculously foolish to turn that down and vote him out at this point. Besides the fact that, to my understanding, if a Season 4 player is not voted out now, the fly trap will be used on one of them, and that protects me. I don't know if Brody would target me, but I would rather be protected than not protected, so unfortunately I just haven't gotten as much from Brady as I have from Gavin, so that's all it is. Oh, whoops, I missed. Great way to start.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Hello.
My fave. Please sit down. Can you tell us who you're going to vote for and why?
First off, for anyone who was following my water bottle,
I was following your water bottle
I did
journey.
find it, and this person I'm voting for just lowers the chance that I get fly trapped, and apparently Shakira said that I might be Brody's target, which would be devastating, but it would also be really lame of Brody. So, but he's done lame things before. Let's hope he doesn't do it again. So I'm gonna vote Brady.
Hi, Shakira. Dog. Come join us. What's your prescription? Who are you gonna vote for?
Prescription, 8 hours of sleep. That's what I need right now. But this is tough because what?
Can you sit? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So Brady, obviously, from the same season, he was messy or whatever, but, you know, I wanted to work with him, and we had kind of decided that we would try to stay, like, season 3 strong or whatever. So voting him out would be losing a number. But to vote him out would mean that we know for a fact that Brody would fly trap a season 4 person, because that is what he's been campaigning on. So if we vote out Gavin, then that leaves it up to chance. We're like, now what? Who the hell are they going to fly trap now? And that leaves me extremely vulnerable, because I think that I could potentially be target of that said fly trap. And I don't want to be fly trapped. However, I do have intel from a couple of people that it wouldn't be me, that it would be Patrick, ? Which seems so random. But I heard that from 2 people who I trust a lot. Abby, surprisingly, who I said 5 words to in my game, and Thomas, who is Bessie. And I don't know how they were able to get that out of Brody, because no one else was, so I don't know. But I trust them. So I think I'm gonna go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
First, do no harm.
But beneficent?
Grandma's pretty. Grandmama needs a little back rub. Can you tell us who you're voting for and why?
I'm voting for Gavin. Brady gave me a seed. There's more reasons, but my brain's not working. Oops. Yeah. Sorry. Love you. Bye. Thank you. I gave someone a seed that I don't think I told you about.
I was told. You can tell me to just confirm it. Well, can you tell me right now?
Yeah,
Actually,
I had gave one to Christian. I gave one to Brody.
can you type that?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.